At BMO's main branch in downtown Vancouver, dozens of protesters.
And we want BMO to know racial profiling has to stop.
The demonstrators later moved inside the bank, where Indigenous elder Maxwell Johnson was last month to open an account for his 12-year-old granddaughter. During their appointment, Johnson says an employee questioned the pair's identification, including their government-issued Indian status cards, and unbeknownst to them, called 911.
The information that came in that call is that it was a fraud in progress. And the information described to the officers through the 911 call is that there were two suspects. One was a 50-year-old South Asian male, and the second one was a 16-year-old South Asian female. So that was the information that the officers had when they responded to the bank.
And based on that flawed description from the bank of the suspects, Johnson and the girl ended up in handcuffs in the back of a police cruiser.
She was just standing there with handcuffs on, and you could just see how like she was crying.
So we had two suspects. The officers very politely took them into custody, placed handcuffs on both the people, at that time still believing that we were dealing with a 16-year-old girl and a 50-year-old man.
The chief says the officers themselves are from ethnic communities with about 5 years on the force. And in another statement released today, BMO called what happened unacceptable, saying they deeply regret it and unequivocally apologize. The bank also says it is now establishing an Indigenous Advisory Council in partnership with several chiefs across Canada to support further education and awareness.
We're very sorry the way that this all played out, and nobody wants to see a young girl in handcuffs or anybody in handcuffs when we know now, after doing the investigation, that there was no crime. But I also want people to know that there was a reason that this happened, the way this played out. But of course, it's not a nice situation for anybody involved.
As for Johnson, he says he's considering a human rights case against BMO and possibly police for racial profiling. And later this hour, we will have an extended version of my interview with Chief Adam Palmer. You can also watch it in full on our CBC Vancouver YouTube channel.